In this episode, I'm going to give you the 5 brass tacks tips that you can use to transform how you give your product demos so you can close more deals. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. I drop an episode like this with actionable strategies and tips every single Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. That way you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. If you're part of my SaaS go-to-market coaching program, if you're part of this community already, welcome back. It is really great to see you here. So back when I was at Marketo, we had an army of sales engineers, solution architects. So anytime we went into a big presentation to give a demo, we would have these amazingly built, custom crafted demos to give a proper tour of the platform. But that wasn't always the case. Before I joined Marketo, before I sold my company ToutApp to Marketo, as an early stage CEO and founder at ToutApp, I had to give the demos myself. I had to give probably hundreds of demos that I've given through my time at ToutApp. We had to give demos for fundraising. We had to give demos when I was recruiting executives. I needed to show them the product. I had to give demos when I was on actual sales calls in the early days when we were going up market, going into mid-market and enterprise after getting our self-service business off the ground. So I had to learn how to actually give proper demos. And in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 tips that I learned the hard way so you don't have to, that you can employ right away so you can transform how you give your product demos and close more deals. So if you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button. Seriously, please smash that like button. It means the world to us. And let's dig into principle number 0. So I have 5 of these, but I want to start with 0. You generally want to have a certain blueprint that you stick to for your product demos. You probably have a blueprint already. If you don't, I covered what a good structure for a demo is, especially for SaaS businesses in a prior episode. You can check that out here. You don't have to go right now. I'll link to it below. But having a good structure in place, having a good blueprint for your demos in place, super important. And when you check out that video, I'll tell you what those key points are. But in this video, I'm going to dig into the actual tips to just run your demos better. The first thing that you really want to get into, this is what I learned, especially when we really got into some important deals, some important logos, is you want to personalize the presentation. What that means is if you are selling to, say, Microsoft, or you're selling to, I don't know, Good Data, mid-sized business, not the biggest, but it's a good size account. You don't want to go in and give a demo saying, I'm a rep at Acme Inc. You want to say, hey, I'm a rep at Good Data, and here's how we use the software. And when you log in, maybe it has their logo, maybe you've customized some of the elements fitted to their company. And that way, the viewer is A, going to realize that you guys really care and are engaged. That's going to be brownie points. And B, they're going to be a lot more engaged in what you're presenting to them because it's going to feel familiar to them. So I've seen this at play at Marketo when they were doing it. Super powerful, but even in the small stages, when you just do little things that personalizes your presentation to the company you're presenting to, it goes a really long way. So if you do that, you will instantly get brownie points and actually be a lot more effective in capturing their attention. The second tip I have, and I learned this the hard way, is you want to start somewhere familiar, right? I.e. an integration. So we had our core at ToutApp, we had our core software, which was sales engagement software. So you could log in to ToutApp.com, you can load up your leads, and you can then send emails or put them on campaigns. You could do all those things. But we never wanted to start there. Where we wanted to start was our integrations. We knew that our customer had Salesforce, they had Gmail or Outlook. So we always started the journey somewhere where it was very familiar. And the reason for that is it can be pretty jarring when you just throw someone in there. You know what your software looks like, but they don't. They don't know where you are, what the context is, who's using it. So we always started someplace familiar, and that way they're like, oh yeah, I know Gmail, or I know Outlook, or I know Salesforce, and we're like, great, so you already use this software, here's how we integrate, here's how we hook in, and here's how the workflow starts. And when you do it that way, people will, again, not get lost, it won't be as jarring, and they'll pay even more attention. Number 3 is you want to make sure that you don't talk about features and benefits, but instead you do a day in the life of. So it can be really cool to say, here's one feature, here's another feature, and here's what you get. And what ends up happening is you're kind of spotty and you're going all over the different parts of the platform that you know really well, might seem kind of cool, and the prospect or the potential buyer will look at it and be like, okay, that's cool, they'll walk away without a clear understanding of what the transformation you're bringing to their business is. So you always want to do your demo in a way where it's a day in the life of, where you take your most primary user and you actually say, okay, for us with salespeople, it's like, I'm a sales rep, I work at Good Data, here's my Gmail, here's how we plug in, and here's how we go into the platform, and here's what I'm able to do when a lead comes in. And that allowed people to really visualize the value you're going to be delivering through your platform. So number 3 is don't go into features or benefits, actually think about the day in the life of. If you want to dig more into the day in the life of, definitely check out my product demo blueprint video. I'll link to it below. It goes in a little bit more on what that blueprint should be, and the whole principle around it is day in the life of. Now, before I go into principle number 4 and number 5, let me just pause here for a second. If you're starting to see the power in incorporating some of these things, you're starting to see how this can transform your demo, these are little tweaks that you can make that will really up-level your game. If you're starting to see this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also smash that like button if you haven't already for the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you are building out your product demo, chances are you're building a go-to-market machine, you're looking to scale your SaaS business. I invite you to download my 5-point SaaS growth guide. In it, I go into clear principles that you can follow to drive faster growth for your SaaS business. You don't have to go now, I'll link to it below, I'll tell you more about it in the end, but let's go to principle number 4. So principle number 4 is you want to always tie it back to risks when the workflow is done without your software. So you have the software, you're giving them the demo, and you're saying, okay, now you can run this workflow that we take over. You can do this, you can do this, you can do this. And the customer is like, yeah, that sounds awesome, that sounds awesome, that sounds awesome. And that's good, right? Here's the thing though. What typically happens with the demo is they'll look at it and they're like, that's awesome, they're gonna go think about it. What you want to plant in their heads during this process is what happens if they don't buy the software. So as you're going through the demos, you wanna highlight, here's what happens without the software. You want to kind of plant that in their head on if they don't take action, if they don't invest in the platform, what does their status quo look like and what happens? What is the risk around that? And there has to be a risk, right? There has to be a problem that's created that your software is solving. So for example, with ToutApp, whenever we showed like, okay, here's your new leads, you can load them up, you can put them on a campaign, it'll touch them 8 times. You can say like, look, without something like this, your reps have to remember to follow up with these leads every 2 or 3 days. And there's more and more leads coming in and there's no one looking after it and there's no system to follow through. So they're never gonna get followed up on. That's something you say inside the demo to kind of highlight like, look, this is what we're really gonna be doing for you. And if you don't invest in this, then here's what's gonna happen. Here's what the default looks like. So principle number 4 is tied back to risks when the workflow is not done in the software or done without the software. And finally, slide number 5, as you're going through the demo, inherently, people get creative, they want to contribute, they want to seem smart. So prospective buyers will always kind of say like, oh, what about this feature? Wouldn't it be cool if this happened? And a lot of times you won't have the feature. And one of the things you don't want to end up doing is just committing to a bunch of features in the meeting and they'll say, okay, when you have that, then we'll buy. So whenever people are making feature requests or saying, oh, does it do this way? And you don't quite do it, you can say, oh, that's a great idea. After the demo, I'm gonna walk you through our roadmap slide. We'll talk about some of the exciting things that are happening, and I can talk to product about adding that to the roadmap down the line. So you're not committing to any features, you're not committing to any custom development, you're selling what they say is on the back of the truck. And lastly, what's important is that you're making sure that you actually don't commit to any you don't derail the demo, right? And so number 5 is keep a roadmap slide, right? Keep a roadmap slide. When you keep a roadmap slide, it'll ensure that you kind of tether that conversation around, this is what the product is, here's what it does for you, and we have these amazing things that are coming. We're constantly innovating, we're iterating faster than anyone else in the space. That's a competitive thing. We're the right partner for you, and that way we'll actually help you grow. Okay, so those are my 5 tips. If you incorporate just these 5 tips, and I'll recap them in a second, then you'll be able to close more deals using your demos. So number 1, you can actually personalize the presentation. You don't have to go crazy around it because you may not have dedicated sales engineers yet, but just maybe the logo or just certain things on the business that you can add. Number 2, you actually want to start somewhere familiar to them and highlight an integration and then take them into the platform so it's not jarring. Number 3, you actually want to highlight the day in the life of. I'll link to that other product demo blueprint video down below. You can check it out here. Number 4, don't go yet. I'm gonna recap and I have one more thing for you. Number 4, tie it back to the risk of not adopting the platform. Like what happens if they don't have the software, the core urgent important problem that you guys are solving for. And number 5, keep a roadmap slide, right? Highlight the roadmap slide. That way they'll see an incredible demo, the risks of what happens if they don't do it, a day in the life of how it's gonna get transformed, and exciting stuff that's ahead also, so it shows that it's a living, breathing product. Those are the 5 tips I would incorporate today to your product demo to transform it so you can close more deals. If you got value from this video, be sure to smash that like button if you haven't already. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I drop a video like this with actionable strategies and tips to grow your SaaS business faster every Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. Lastly, if you're building out your SaaS business and you want to grow faster, then I invite you to download my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. It's a mouthful, but it includes my 5 most important principles that'll help you drive your SaaS business and grow it faster. So just go to getunstoppable.com/strategy or just follow the link below. Also down below, I'll link to the videos that I've mentioned in this episode as well. I want to thank you for joining. And also, by the way, if you have a co-founder, if you have a team, if you have a fellow SaaS founder, if you're part of a group, please share this video. It'll mean the world to me and my team. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business, but when you are with us, yours is gonna be unstoppable. I'm TK, and I'll see you in the next episode.